Morning. Morning. What is today? 29th? Today, 29th? 29th or the 30th? What is it? I don't remember. 29th. Oh, it's Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday, July 29th, 2025. I'm Larissa. This is my greasy fat bitch diary. Oh, I've been drinking coffee and not my tea because I got that batch of tea down there. I need to make a new batch. So, the last batch of tea I made is heavy in echinacea. And when I mixed it up, it's because I needed some echinacea. But I was stupid. Like I should have just mixed up a little bit with the echinacea because you don't just like echinacea does not taste good. It doesn't taste good, and you can't continue to continually consume it, right? Like it's one of those herbs that if you don't need it, you shouldn't have it, right? And it was like my body was starting to reject it. My body was like, "Ew, don't drink that." So, I didn't need any more of it, right? So I need to mix up a new batch of tea for myself so I can drink from my skull. I had a dream about these cups last night. So these mugs are my great grandma's. These came out of my Auntie Mum gave them to me. She said these were from the farm, so I always took that to mean that they were from my great grandma Morrow's farm. Because when she talked about the farm, it was living on the Morrow farm. Like her family, the Leeds family, they had a little bit of land and stuff, but they didn't have a farm per se, right? Like her mom had a big garden and stuff, but they didn't have a farm. Her father, great grandpap Leeds, he built his business was building barns. They built round barns. Anyway, these mugs. I had a dream that last night I had two of the mugs, and that the top all crumbled in. Really weird, really weird. There were 16 of them. 8 of them got shattered in one of the moves. So anyway, but I love them. They're porcelain, and the lip is so thin. Mm, yeah, the coffee tastes so good out of them. Oh, anyway, my greasy hairs. I put the product in again. Yeah, yeah. It really is a good product. I don't know, I have no idea what it's called. It's Japanese. It's another Japanese product. It's another Japanese product. Both of the products that I got that I like are Japanese products. And it smells good. Yeah. But after I wash my hair, after I get the shower and get it wet and scrub at it a little bit, and then it dries. It looks really good, and I don't have as many tangles and everything. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yesterday, I made some good headway on the common ground installation, getting it ready once again for public viewing in the new space. So I got a good chunk of work done on that. I mean, there's still a lot to do, but I got a good chunk done. And I ordered my new business cards, with the new address and all the other stuff that I need with the new address on it. And I ordered the September issue, went to print yesterday. So I'll have that, but it'll be here by the end of the first week of August. So it'll be here in time for me to start doing distribution for that. And what else? I did some other stuff. I did a couple other things but I was able to mark stuff off of my list, and that was awesome. I love when I get to write a line through something that's on my list. That makes me happy. And there were like 4 things I was able to put a line through yesterday. So that was good. That was really, really good. So today I'll hopefully I'll be able to put a line through a couple more things. I got laundry down there too. That's laundry in. So yesterday was just clean out the fridge of leftovers day. So today I'll have to cook. So I'm going to go over to the gallery to work again today. Oh, I found out yesterday, again, I had another great aunt I forgot to talk about yesterday. My Aunt Audrey. My Uncle Al's wife. My Uncle Al was my pappy's, my mom's father's youngest brother. And she died evidently back at the end of March. And there again, I was very close with them. And she was deaf So I didn't call to talk to her very often because she had a phone. It was challenging, that like transcribed her conversations or whatever for her. And we didn't write letters back and forth, but we sent cards back and forth. She wasn't like a big, she wasn't big into writing, right? Like, but she would send a card now and then, kind of thing. And the last time I saw her was after my father's mother's funeral. Before I left Pittsburgh, I drove out to Murraysville to see her. And the last thing that my Aunt Audrey said to me was, "Your mother is not nice." She said, "Your mother's not nice. Your mother's mean." She says, "And I hope she changes her mind." And I have no idea. Like I was like, "Oh, thanks." Like I have no idea what she was talking about. Um, but there was something because my mom has been really mean. And my mom was really, really mean to me at that funeral. My mom was super mean to me. That they all were. They all were really mean to me. But I don't know. There was something that was said among the family that I was not privy to because it's always, "Don't tell Larissa. Don't tell Larissa. We're going to do this, whatever." Um, Exclude Larissa. Shit on Larissa. Fuck you, Larissa. Right? I don't know. But that was the last thing that she said to me. And I told her daughter, Janet, I said, "Janet," I said, "my Aunt Audrey had all kinds of shit. She used to make these like dolls, right? And she used to sell them at the county fairgrounds and shit, right? And um, they were like sculptures. They were like soft sculptures. They were kind of thing they were like she'd make the Christmas dolls, the Christmas Santas and the Mrs. Claus kind of thing. And they were big. They were big. They were a couple, they'd be like a couple feet tall, and they were really cute. I mean, the kind of thing you'd sit next to your front door, next to the fireplace or whatever. And sometimes she'd have sand in them. They'd be weighted so you could use them to like hold the door open, kind of thing, and stuff like that. They were cute. She made these. Um, and so she had all these materials. She had her sewing room, all these materials, and she had all this shit from the old farm, right? That she still had in the house. And Janet, she was trying to go through everything. And I told Janet, I said, "Janet, I said, if you want help, I said, just let me know. I'll come help you do that." I said, I said, because Janet said that they were going through everything slowly. She's like, "Oh, we do a box every now and then. It's a bit much." I said, "Well, whenever you need help," I said, "I'll come help you do it." Not because I wanted anything from my aunt, but because when I was little, we went over there all the time. Not my mom and dad, me with my grandparents. I spent a lot of time with my Uncle Al and my Aunt Audrey. And when I was writing that art, I wrote this article. It's coming out in the September issue about the crystal caves in the Appalachian Mountains that my grandma, my Auntie, Mama, and Pappy took me to when I was a little girl. And there was this, we went there twice, and the one time, um, the trip that we took, we went to a whole bunch of different places, and my grandma took me to meet family members that I wouldn't have otherwise gotten to meet, right? People, and one of the days on that trip, Audrey and Al met us. It was when we went out to meet these. It was a day that I don't even remember what this woman's name was. Um, well, it was Aunt Violet. It was Aunt Biddy. It was Aunt Biddy. It was Aunt Biddy. It was Aunt Biddy because I got the slippers too. It was Aunt Biddy. She's the one who gave me a copy of Jack London's Call of the Wild. And on the day that we went out there to her trailer and met her, right? And there was like it was like a church bazaar um, that my Aunt Biddy sold her crocheted stuff at and things. And the bazaar, it was there every weekend kind of thing. It was like a craft fair place for women from her church or whatever. We bought a bunch of stuff. My grandma bought a bunch of stuff. We got a whole bunch of weird, and my Aunt Biddy gave us all these slippers and things. Um, Her name was Violet. Her name was Violet. Um, yeah. Anyway, anyway, Audrey and Al went with us out there, right? And they went because my Aunt Audrey was like looking for places to sell her to sell the dolls that she made, right? Anyway, I had told Janet that I would help her go through all the stuff in the house. I said, anything that you can sell, for what, because anyway. Anyway, nobody ever contacted me. Nobody ever contacted me and nobody let me know. But when Aunt Audrey died was when I was photographing all of the cemeteries for Common Ground and wrote this article about the Crystal Caves, which was on this trip that they went with us on. And it's just like, okay, there again, like it was a really intense experience. And I remember thinking about everybody then. This was March 30th was when she died. And I just found out about this yesterday too. It's just like, oh my God, whatever. This is how little I matter to anyone in my family, right? My family's terrible. They're terrible. Anyway, I love my Aunt Audrey. I mean, I love my Aunt Audrey so much that when I was pregnant the first time, we said if I had a little girl, if we had a little girl, we were going to name her Audrey. She was going to be Audrey Louise. My Aunt Audrey was my grandmother's best friend. Like she was the one that my grandma called when she was upset about something, right? My Aunt Audrey was my grandmother's confidant. Not any of her sisters or Tilly or, her friend Tilly or any of the rest of them. My grandma was upset about something and needed somebody's feedback, right? She called my Aunt Audrey. Audrey, you and Al busy. Can Joe and I come over? It wasn't far. I mean, their house, Murraysville, the house there, the farmette in Murraysville was like, oh, I don't know, like 25, 30 minutes away from my grandparents' house. Anyway, so today, after I'm done here with my coffee, I will make the bed, throw on some shorts, and go make a quiche, and then get in the shower and wash my dirt ass. And then by the time I get showered and dressed, the quiche will probably be about done. And then after I have some quiche and flip the laundry from washer to dryer downstairs, then I will go to work and continue working on the stuff I'm working on and just try not to think about how angry I am with my family. My mom is so mean. She is just cruel. She's just a cruel, mean person. Anyway, now I have to come out and make dinner because we went through all the leftovers today. There's still a little bit of lentil soup, and I will take the lentil soup with me for lunch today at the gallery. I'll have that. I'll have lentil soup for lunch. And then when I come home, I'll make dinner. I'm going to make for dinner tonight. Probably going to make spaghetti squash. I got spaghetti squash down there, and I'll make a light tomato basil sauce to go on that. And then I have some asparagus, and I think I will batter the asparagus, dredge the asparagus in egg and chickpea flour, and then fry it and have that with the spaghetti squash. Well, what I'll do, like, I'll make that I make that the protein, right, with the egg, and then I'll do a chick the flour that will be dredged on it will be chickpea combination of chickpea and probably, like, either the masa or, um, regular flour, right? So there'll be a complete protein in that breading. Yeah. Yeah, I can do asparagus and some mushrooms, and that'll be good. A little bit of crispiness on top, right? With the tomato basil sauce and the spaghetti squash. That'll be good. That's what we'll have for dinner tonight. And then there'll be leftover quiche for breakfast tomorrow, right? 'Cause we never eat a whole quiche, right? I have some serrano chilies and some jalapenos. And I'm gonna chop those all up, and I have some shallot, and I'll chop all those up and mix them. I have some cotija and some Oaxacan cheese. And I'll shred all that up, and I'll do a chili cheese quiche. So it'll just take me a few minutes to roll out a roll out the crust for the quiche. While I'm doing that, I'll put the chilies in the toaster oven to to blister, and then sweat them before I chop them up. Right. Mm. Anyway, anyway, that was the end of the coffee. Ugh, that was the end of the coffee.